Hello and welcome to our daily letter of the day video. Today's letter is the letter I. Can you say I? This is the uppercase and lowercase I. And if your name has an I, stand up. If your name has an I, stand up. If your name has an I, if your name has an I, if your name has an I, stand up. Well, I is for iguana. We have an iguana on our shelf today, and that's how I'm going to decorate the letter I, like a green iguana. So I'm going to cover my eye with glue. And then I have torn some little pieces of green paper, and that's what I'm going to use. But if you don't have any green paper, you can just color yours green if you'd like. So here we go. That's our uppercase letter I. Let's put a few more on here. Okay, maybe one here, and I think I can squeeze another one right there. Okay, so there you have it. That is the way that we're decorating our eye today. And now that we know what I looks like, we can try to write the letter I. I is super duper easy because all you need are just 3 lines. You need a number 1, and then give it a top and a bottom. That's it. I'll show you again, okay? You just need a number 1 with a top and a bottom. That's how you make the uppercase letter I. Now let me show you on the Handwriting House what that looks like. And if you'd like to practice your handwriting with the Handwriting House sheet that you see here, there is a link below to get, or for the grown-up at your house to get all of the weekly lesson plans and the worksheets, including this Handwriting House. Okay, so you're just going to make a number 1 with a line across the top and the bottom. 1 with a top and a bottom. 1 with a top and a bottom. So make the 1 and then trace across the top and trace across the bottom. I'll make one more to give you a chance to practice. Remember, if you don't have paper, just skywrite. Okay, that was the big uppercase I. Now the lowercase I has an itchy dot, and we're going to talk about itchy dots in just a minute. But the little I looks like this. There's a little one and an itchy dot. So let me show you that again. So make a little one and then give it an itchy dot. That's how you make a little letter I. And on the Handwriting House, the little number 1 is going to be downstairs, and then you're going to put that dot upstairs right in the middle. So the 1 with a dot, a 1 with a dot. Now, in the years past, some students that I've taught want to put that dot right here, but actually we need to toss that dot up into the sky, okay? So put the 1 downstairs and toss the dot upstairs. Toss it up. Okay, that's the lowercase I, and I'd love to check and cheer for you. Do you want to show me your letter I? Oh, good job. Don't forget skywrite if you don't have paper. Nice work on your handwriting. Well, now it's time for phonics. We know what I looks like. We know how to write I, and now we need to know what sound I makes. Well, I makes this sound, I, I, I. Can you make that sound? I, I, I. Very good. Well, I is one of those special letters that we call vowels. You might remember a song we learned about the vowels. It goes like this: A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. Well, the vowels are special because every word must have one. If it doesn't have a vowel, then it's not a word, not a real word. It's just letters stuck together. Every word has to have a vowel. So that makes them very special. And I is one of those special letters. And anytime we talk about a vowel, we get a visit from one of the vowel people. And here he is. This is my friend Icky Eye. And my friend Icky Eye loves lollipops. Do you love lollipops? I love lollipops too. I love lollipops. Well, my friend I loves them so much that he eats lollipops for breakfast. He eats lollipops for lunch. He eats lollipops for dinner. But when he eats all those lollipops, he gets sticky and he says, eh. Can you take your hand and do like this? Eh. So if you look carefully, you'll see a letter I hiding in the picture. Can you see an I? The lollipop looks like an I. Good job. So I'm hoping that when you see an I, it's going to remind you of that lollipop. And then you'll remember that I says Well, we always play a game or sing a song, something to help that sound stick. So today you're going to get to put itchy dots on Miss Kathy. Okay, so if you can tell me what the letter I sounds like, I'll put an itchy dot on my face, okay? What does letter I sound like? Good job. Oh, one itchy dot, it's so itchy. All right, what does letter I sound like? Good job, another itchy dot. Oh my goodness. What does letter I sound like? Good job. Oh, right on my nose. Oh my goodness. Did you just put an itchy dot on my nose? Can you tell me what does letter I sound like? Letter I sounds like Very, very good. Okay, let's put another itchy dot. Oh, I'm getting really itchy. What does letter I sound like, everyone? Letter I says, another itchy dot. Can you tell me what does letter I sound like? Letter I sounds like, Oh my goodness, I'm getting so itchy. Can you tell me again, what does I sound like? Oh, right on my chinny chin chin. One more time. What does letter I sound like? Letter I sounds like like itchy dots. I'm so itchy. Well, you did a great job with our letter of the day time. You put lots of itchy dots on me. Let's count and see how many. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You put 8 itchy dots on me, and 8 is our number. As we move into math, we're going to try to write the number 8. And the number 8 looks like a letter S. And then you're going to close up the 2 circles because number 8 looks like a snowman. So we want a circle here and a circle here. So let me show you. I'll make it look like a little snowman. Oh, it does look like a snowman, doesn't it? So let me show you that again. So you're going to make a letter S, and then you're going to close up this circle. See? And then close up this circle. So that's how you make a letter S. A number 8. You start with a letter S. So I'm going to show you on the Handwriting House. It's very tempting to just put a circle on top of another circle, but we should write it like this. Start with an S and then close it up, just like that. So Make your S and then close it up, close it up. Good job. Make an S and then close it up, close it up. Now it does look like a snowman. So make your letter S and then close up the bottom circle and then close up the top circle. And that is how you write a number 8. And great job counting 8. And now we're going to do one more thing for math today. We're going to be measuring, and we're going to start by measuring an iguana. Well, this is a ruler, and rulers are used to measure how long something is. Now, there are 2 numbers missing on this ruler, and I'm going to add them right now. That's a 0, and right here is an 8. And we just talked about the number 8. Well, to measure, what you do is you take whatever you want to measure and put it right where the ruler begins. And then you look at the other end of the object and see what number is closest to where the object ends. So where is the nose of this iguana? What number is it close to? Number 8. Very good. So we say that this iguana is 8 inches long. Okay, now let's try something else. Let's try this Lego. So we're going to move the Lego on top of the ruler, and then we're going to look and see where the end of the Lego comes to on the ruler. So what number can you see right there? That's a number 2. So this Lego is 2 inches long. All right, let's try the toy car. Beep, beep. Okay, so can you look and tell me what number is close to the end of where the car is? Number 4. So the car is 4 inches long. All right, let's try the apple. Put the apple right where the ruler begins, and then look with your eyes and see if you can decide where the end of the apple comes to on the ruler right there. This apple is 3 inches long. Good work. You're so good at measuring. You can cut out this ruler if you'd like to, and you can take it all over your house measuring different things. The last thing that we're going to measure together is this pencil. So can you look with your eyes and see where does the end of the pencil come to? It comes right here to the number 5. So the pencil is 5 inches long. Nice job measuring. And that sheet is actually part of the lesson planner worksheets for this week. So go to that link below, get a grown-up too, and get that worksheet for yourself. And you can cut out the ruler and measure all kinds of things. Okay, now it's time for our color for today. And we're working on the color brown this week. So I want to see if you remember how to spell brown. There is a color we all know. Can you guess what it is? B-R-O-W-N, B-R-O-W-N, B-R-O-W-N. That's how you spell brown. Well, today we're talking about a green iguana, but did you know that sometimes green iguanas can be brown? Take a look at this. This is a green iguana, but it's sitting on a brown rock, and iguanas can change their color depending on their surroundings. Take a look at this iguana. You can see he's changing from green into brown because he's crawled up onto this brown tree trunk. And here's another iguana. Look at his skin, it's brown. He's climbed onto a tree and his color has changed to brown, and that's our color for this week, B-R-O-W-N. Well, we're going to do an art project right now, and I think we're going to make a really cute paper iguana. So let's head over to the art table and learn how to do that. Well, here we are at the art table, and we're going to be making a paper iguana. The first thing I'm going to do is color the iguana green. You're going to notice before you color, you can notice there's some lines, some little dotted lines on there. You're going to want to still be able to see those dotted lines, so you don't have to color it too dark. Okay, I'm not worried about getting out of the lines because I'm going to cut this iguana out. So I'm just going a little bit fast. Okay, now right here, you'll notice that there's a little line, and that's going to be the iguana's tongue. If you'd like to, you can go ahead and color the iguana's tongue red, but I'm going to be using a separate piece of paper to make the tongue for my iguana. Now, my paper is pretty thin, and so I'm going to glue it onto another piece of paper. You don't have to do this step, but we are going to be folding and bending this iguana, and I want him to not be very floppy. So I am going to go ahead and glue this to another harder piece of paper. Next, I'm just going to cut the iguana out. Cut around his tail. His tail is curled around, isn't it? Okay, I'm almost done. I need to get this side. Just need his front foot and his head, and we'll be ready. There we go. Now, right now, my iguana is flat, as you can see, but we want to make him to stand up. So take a look right here at those little dotted lines in the middle. That's showing me where to fold. And there are also some on the feet and legs. So that's where I'm going to fold the paper. So really squish it when you fold it, like really give it a good squeeze so that it really will get a nice fold and be able to stand up. Okay, so I'm also folding on those lines that I saw on the legs. Okay, starting to really look cool. And one more over here. So there you have it. He does look like he's standing up. He's not flat anymore. Now I'm going to use a piece of red paper to make the little tongue for my iguana. So I'm just cutting out a little piece. And then I'm going to take this and wrap it around a crayon. And by wrapping it around a crayon like that, when I let it go, it kind of makes it curl up. I'm going to turn my iguana on the back like this. And I'm just going to tape or glue the little tongue right there. And there you have it. There is our cute little iguana art project for today. Now come around and we'll do some science together. I think our little iguana turned out really cool. I'll put him right back here on the shelf with Fred. Now for science, we're going to learn a little bit about the green iguana. So first of all, take a look at this. This is a green iguana, and his color is really usually green. This one doesn't look very green on the top of his head, but there is something cool on the top of his head. That's a third eye. The iguanas have a third eye. They already have good eyesight, but this eye helps them to sense danger from above. So more than being another seeing eye, it's mostly a sensing eye. It can help them to know if there are any hawks or eagles flying around up above so that they'll know to get to a safe location. Green iguanas can survive a fall really high up in the sky. So if an eagle or hawk does grab this iguana and drop him, he can fall for 40 to 50 feet and still be okay. Now, green iguanas have another special thing. They can break their tails off. So if a hawk is grabbing onto an iguana by its tail, the green iguana can make its tail fall off and it can grow a new one later. Green iguanas are excellent swimmers, and they'll dive into the water to avoid predators. Green iguanas are herbivores. That means they eat plants. They love to eat leaves and fruit. We've already talked about the fact that green iguanas can change their color depending on their surroundings. So there you have it. There were just a few fun facts about iguanas. And now we're going to read a story about an iguana before we say goodbye. This story is called Me Too, Iguana. Me Too, Iguana by Jacqueline Reinach. Iguana had a lovely green color and a long bumpy tail and an apartment and a balcony with a tree growing on it. But Iguana wasn't satisfied with her lovely green color or her long bumpy tail or anything else she had. Whatever anybody else had, she wanted too. At the supermarket, Iguana saw Elephant, the manager, lifting cans of soup with her trunk. A trunk, cried Iguana. Me too, me too. I want a trunk too. So Iguana went home and cut a piece of rubber hose. She painted it gray and tied it to her nose. Good, said Iguana. Now I have a trunk too. At the barber shop, Iguana saw Lion getting his mane trimmed. A mane, cried Iguana. Me too, me too. I want a mane too. So Iguana went home and stuck a lot of thick yellow wool all over her head. Good, said Iguana. Now I have a trunk and a mane. At the car wash, Iguana watched Zebra taking a shower. His black and white stripes gleamed in the sunlight. Stripes, cried Iguana. Me too, me too. I want stripes too. So Iguana went home to make stripes. On the way, Iguana saw Goose taking a nap. Her feathers were flapping in the breeze. Feathers, cried Iguana. Me too, me too. I want feathers too. So Iguana went home to make stripes like Zebra and feathers like Goose. First, she opened 2 jars of paint. She took a wide brush and painted stripes on her sides. Then she took the feathers out of an old pillow and glued them on her back. Good, said Iguana. Now I have a trunk and a mane and stripes and feathers too. Everybody wondered what Iguana was doing. Why was she imitating them? Oh, worried Walrus, this could get to be a problem. At the post office, Stork was flying in with the airmail delivery. Flying, cried Iguana. Me too, me too. I want to fly too. So she went home to figure out how to make wings. Oh, this is a problem, said Walrus. Iguana can't fly. She'll hurt herself. Everybody agreed. This Me Too business had to stop before it was too late. But how? Why would a nice iguana with a lovely green color and a long bumpy tail want a trunk and a mane and stripes and all the rest? Asked Lion. Why? Everybody wondered. Because, said Zebra, she must think that a trunk and a mane and stripes and all the rest are better. But how do we stop her? Wondered Elephant. That's a good question, said Stork. Everybody thought and whispered and scratched their heads. Finally, they had a plan. They wrote a letter. Stork dropped the letter on Iguana's balcony. The letter said, everybody come to a costume party at the playground. All costumes must be kept secret. No talking about them. Iguana forgot all about flying. A costume party, she cried. Me too, me too. Everybody will be there. I'll be there too. But what will I do for a costume? She cried. I want to wear what everybody else is wearing too. When it came time for the party, Iguana still didn't have a costume. She sneaked into the playground and hid behind a tree. In the distance, behind the swings, she saw a flash of green. Near the jungle gym, she saw another flash of green. By the fountains, a flash of green. What was going on? Oh, nobody has a trunk, cried Iguana. Quickly, she took off her trunk. Oh, nobody has a mane, she cried. She pulled off her mane. Oh, nobody has stripes. Nobody has feathers. Iguana wiped off the stripes and pulled off the feathers. Then she moved closer to get a better look. Everybody's costume was a lovely green color. Everybody had a long, bumpy tail. Everybody was dressed like an iguana. Come join the party, they called. You're dressed perfectly. But I'm not wearing a costume, cried Iguana. This is just plain old me. Then Stork said, There's a prize for the best iguana, and the prize goes to, he turned slowly around. The prize goes to you, Iguana. You have the loveliest, greenest color. You have the longest, bumpiest tail. Congratulations. We all think you're wonderful just the way you are. You know what? Said Iguana. I do too. The end. Well, you're just right, just the way you are. God made you just right, and he loves you so much. And so do I. And I enjoyed having a little time today to teach you about letter I. Next time, we'll learn about letter J, and J is for jokes. So we'll tell a lot of jokes. I'll see you then. Goodbye.